The phone hacking scandal in Britain has taken a new turn this morning. Rupert Murdoch himself is set to testify this week at a British inquiry, where he is sure to face tough questions about what he knew and when he knew it. This morning, his son, James Murdoch, told a public hearing he did not know his reporters were hacking cell phones.
I was given repeated assurances, as I've said, that these practices, that the newsroom had been investigated, that there was no evidence. I was given the same assurances as they gave outside. I've been very consistent about it, and I don't think that, short of knowing that they weren't giving me the full picture, I would have been able to know that at the time.
Journalist and talk radio host Nick Ferrari is with us from London. He's a former executive in Murdoch's media company. Good morning, Mr. Ferrari.
Good morning to you.
Tell me what you think this inquiry is trying to do.
The inquiry was set up by Prime Minister Cameron in the wake of most appalling sort of scandals and allegations and suggestions here. What he needs to get to, Lord Leveson needs to get to, is the relationship there's been between journalists, the police and politicians. Obviously, James Murdoch is part of that, and it's one of the newspapers that he was in charge of, the News of the World, that has been folded because of these hideous hacking allegations. As you can hear, it's causing excitement, not just for the media, but for people who are turning out as well, Charlie.
There is also this impression from watching Murdoch's testimony so far today that he is saying, yes, there were discussions, but there were not specifics. Is that the general outline you see coming?
Charlie, bear in mind this is now the third time that James Murdoch has appeared before various panels, and he has to stick to the line. The problem for him is now, is he just someone who wasn't on charge? Is he foolish, or was he just naive? He's having to stick to the line that he effectively didn't know what was going on. He's even said today in the London courtroom he didn't ever read the News of the World. This is a guy who said his editors did it for him, so he didn't need to. In reality, his act is looking very poor and very thin, and he's not helping his company's cause at all.
So then, are we expected to learn anything new in these inquiries based on him, as you put it, sticking to this line?
Erica, in reality, James, I think, is the warm-up act for his father, Rupert Murdoch, who, of course, is here tomorrow. And if you think there's a lot of excitement and noise for the son, you wait until Dad comes here. The father is the one who really has been, obviously, at the heart of the empire. And whatever was going on across the whole of the world, including the US, that's where it lands at Rupert's door. James is really just for the UK. The global picture gets even bigger tomorrow.
Is there any evidence that puts it at his doorstep?
At Rupert Murdoch's doorstep?
Yes.
No. I think that as we saw at Rupert Murdoch's doorstep, no. I think as we saw when he appeared before the Parliamentary Committee, he is able to talk about the lieutenants that he runs. Bear in mind, this is a man who has around 30,000 employees across the whole of the world. He can hardly be expected to be across what every single one of them is doing. But what he can speak to is the extraordinary level of access that he enjoyed here in Britain. For instance, he used to go into number 10, the home where the Prime Minister lives, by the back door because he went so regularly that they didn't want the journalists to know. He could effectively tell Prime Ministers when he was in town and they would have him by. This was the level of access never before seen in British politics, in British media, and that's what the inquiry will be quizzing Rupert Murdoch about.
Nick Ferrari, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.